How is everybody? It is I, the Dark Dawn, back at you again with another video. Um, I wanted to talk to you about today the people in NPC form. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and nobody's exempt. Even I have to go into NPC form. I have to transform into NPC form in order for people to feel comfortable around me, to say good morning to me, to um, actually feel like they get who I am. Because without me transforming into NPC form, they don't know how to take me. You know, um, it gets to the point to where, like, just say this for example, when you clock into work, say if you come into work in your normal clothes, and then you see the energy shift. Everybody who could talk to you while you're at work, they can't talk to you while you're in your normal clothes, in your normal form. because you because you usually come as you are. If you know how to be yourself, if you know who you are, if you know yourself, you know how to come as you are. You're always being yourself, and that's very intimidating. It seems like you're trying to put up some very big anti-movement, like you're being rebellious, but you're not. But in another way, you are being rebellious, because to be yourself in a big society that rewards everybody for playing a role. It rewards everybody for just faking the funk, creating facades. You know, um, the algorithm rewards people for being uh, more of the same. It promotes sameness. So if you're not with the sameness, then I guess you are being rebellious. You being yourself, that's rebellious. Um, but a lot of people are NPCs. A lot of people are NPCs, and that's just them in their natural form. I have to transform into an NPC. Me, naturally, I'm very expressive, sometimes vulgar, sometimes rebellious, sometimes sensitive, sometimes vulnerable, sometimes hardcore, sometimes ignorant, sometimes proper, sometimes bougie. I'm in touch with all sides of myself because I know myself. But a lot of people can't take that, and they can feel it. Whenever they come in contact with you, they can feel whenever you are being yourself, because your presence intimidates a lot of people when you're being yourself. They don't know how to handle you. A lot of people can't say no to people. I don't like that problem. If I don't want to do something, I'm going to say no. A lot of people can't express themselves well around people. If I feel like you did something to me, I'm going to express it to you. I don't have that problem. A lot of people can't um, a lot of people can't be by themselves a lot. I don't have that problem. I thrive in isolation. A lot of people don't thrive in isolation, because in isolation you do what? You spend a lot of time with yourself, and a lot of people can't spend a lot of time with themselves because they can't face the person that they are unfamiliar with. Every time I'm by myself, I'm familiar with myself. I am very familiar with myself. So I feel good looking in the mirror because I know who I am when I look in the mirror. Um, but yeah, people who are good at being themselves, they we have to conform a lot. We have to dumb ourselves down for in order to be accepted, in order to be um, less intimidated, in order to be um, digestible. You know, we have to dumb ourselves down because if you are yourself wherever you go, a lot of people are not being themselves, and you can spot it. You know, everything that I do is with intention, whether if it's bad, if it's good, if it's out of love, if it's out of hate, if it's out of spite, if you know whatever it is, I know what I did. So even when I did it, you can run it back. If I did something to you, you can come up to me, confront me, and say, why did you do that? I would know why I did that. People who are in NPC mode, they do things not because they meant to do it. They do things because maybe you're supposed to do it at that time. You're supposed to say this then. They live their whole life on a script. You know, they need permission to speak their mind, to express themselves, to, you know, whatever's trendy, whatever is the popular thing to do. The clothes they wear, it needs to be the best clothes. They need to be the clothes that are trending off the mannequin. You know, whatever is trending, that's what they're going to do. They need permission from the algorithm, from the popular people. They need permission. So if they ever do something or say something to you, they're not going to remember what they said, because whatever they say and do, it's coming from the algorithm. It's coming from everything that's cool and everything that's in and everything that's popular and everything, you know. There are people who have a big case of FOMO. People who are NPCs, they can't stand to miss out on anything. They want to be down. They want to be down ass motherfuckers. They want to be down with the crowd. It kills them to not be down. And yeah, that's the war we fighting against. If you're not an NPC, you are somebody who wants to be accepted for who you are. And if people don't accept you for who you are, you're not going to give a fuck about what they got to say. You're going to bounce. You're going to get out of there. But then you got the most common person who wants to be accepted and liked, and they are down to sacrifice their mind, body, and soul in order to be accepted. And that's a shame. But those same people who don't know who they are always throwing shade at you to diminish your mind, your thoughts, your identity. Your identity. They're throwing shade and all of that to diminish your identity. The nerve of these motherfuckers who don't even know who they are, love themselves, or even want to be alive, to even speak on you, who is comfortable with being vulnerable, honest, blunt. You know, you show up as you are, and they show up as they are told. My life is not on the script. We are not the same. But they are always the ones doing shade. I can be quiet. I can fall to the back because even in an argument, I can say, you know what? It's okay if you're right. But, you know, they have to be right. They have to win the argument. I don't have to win an argument. I'm not competing with nobody. I'm competing with myself, who I was last year, who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That's what I'm competing with. That's the difference between me and NPCs. NPCs are always looking outward. Everybody who's living their life and seemingly got it perfect on the internet. NPCs are mad that they are not like them. Even though the people online are telling you a big lie. Everybody online is lying. Everybody's lying. So NPCs are just following whatever looks good. I know what's good. And what's good is me loving me. And it's corny, but also I am the only person that would never leave me. Anybody that's an NPC, they're always changing because everything that's trending this year is not going to trend next year. Everything that's popular this year is not going to be popular next year. The people who are here for them this year is not going to be here for them. They're always going to be flocking to new groups, new trends, new everything because they love to lick boots. If you are yourself, you know. If you stick to you, you never had from whatever year, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. You never had to change up because through every trend, you stuck with yourself. Through every shift and everything, you stuck with you. So you've been you from the beginning, and everybody else is just playing the game, chasing who's popular and who's trending. You know, but that's what happens when you're a real person living in the world of the NPC. You know, and it's unfortunate. A lot of people are in NPC form, and you have to dumb yourself down to get to their level, and it's unfortunate. But that's it. What I got for y'all today. Y'all take care. I am the Dark Dawn, and I love y'all. Like and subscribe. Thumbs up the video if you relate to this, and take care. Stay safe and stay blessed.